Good evening and welcome once again to the Whiskey Cowboy Live. Today's date is August 1st, 2023. It is Tuesday. And I hope everyone's week has been a good one. My week has been great thus far. The weather yesterday and today has been absolutely glorious. I could actually get some yard work done in the afternoon and didn't sweat my ass off. So that was absolutely fantastic. We've got some folks watching the show. Hello, hello. Say hello. Let us know who you are. If you are new to the show, location, please. Tonight's coffee is Blueberry Muffin from Dunkin' Donuts. Good evening, Laurel. Laurel's the first one that chimed in. There's Judy, howdy, with a cowboy emoji. I love those cowboy emojis. They need one with a beard, though. I think I had made one for social media apps in the past where I used the standard cowboy emoji, but then I put a beard on it. So that was mine, so. Not a lot of content out today, but it was a productive day nonetheless. The video was good, just shy of 15 minutes. Fantastic footage. Great day out on the water yesterday. Absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. My youngest was able to be with me. And like I said, I would ask her ahead of time whether she wanted to be in the videos, and she was fine with it. But you'll notice I was very selective in the footage that I used. So, can have fun having her zip around with me. It also demonstrates, and I was talking to the missus, I knew this about me anyways, I have a very strong paddle stroke. And you'll notice when you're zipping along, you hear me, I'm doing maybe 1 to less than 1 for every 2 strokes that she was doing with her kayak, and I was keeping up with her. Then, of course, when she speeds up, then she can take off. But normally, just normal strokes, I can keep up with somebody in a recreational kayak. Not a sea kayak; those things move super fast. But it's always nice. Start out the show tonight with a little. It's kind of funny. When I make a quip and I'm being facetious, don't be a jackwagon and try to one-up me. Because it's not going to work. This is what I posted today. X is a silly way for Musk to go with Twitter. Clicking the X is how you end an app, item, tab, page, etc. He misses the irony. Now, somebody said he doesn't miss the irony. He thrives on it. Well, for that, I say he's in a tax bracket that allows him to thrive on irony while making stupid mistakes. I didn't say stupid mistakes, but he can. Because he basically has what they call FU money. So he can make mistakes, and it's not going to affect him like it would affect us. Now, the reason for this post and what I'm saying is, if you've noticed, every single app that you have on a computer, the X is not a good thing. It's a bad thing. It turns it off. Okay? He has already received a bunch of shit from his changing the logo to X. He put a big X on his building. The residents complained, and by city ordinance, he had to take it down. Again, these are not stellar. These are not stellar decisions on his part. Now, you can argue it's because it's for publicity. I would argue in return that he doesn't need publicity. He's the owner of Twitter, and Twitter does not need publicity. This would at most be self-indulgent on his part, maybe a little egotistical and narcissist, which he is. But this is what Clayton writes, and bless your heart, Clayton. He already got 1 like for it, and that's good. It's because it's somebody that's not thinking. He says, with your advice, he'd actually get rich and be successful. Now, this can come two ways. Oh, by the way, can you all hear me okay? How's the volume level? I didn't do a, should be fine. I didn't do an asking. And nobody says, hey, we can't hear you. If it's supposed to be a compliment to me, Judy says, good. Okay, fantastic. If it was supposed to be a compliment to me, then he's missing the fact that Musk is already rich and successful. So that would be ignorance on his part. If he was trying to make a quip at me, similar vein of my post, which was actually not really a quip, it was irony and satirical, but with a hint of truth. That's where good jokes come from. Then he's failing to consider some major points, like I posted back to him. Even the rich and successful can be idiots, or at least still do stupid things. They are not mutually exclusive, but yes, he probably would do well with some of my advice. Cheers. Because he probably would. Because that's like saying that the wisest man in the room has to be the most quote-unquote successful and the quote-unquote richest. No, it doesn't usually work out that way. And there's plenty of successful and rich people that are downright idiots. Most of your movie stars, your actors and actresses, a lot of sports figures, I can go on. And they're rich, they're successful, they're notable, but they're complete morons. So they don't, wealth and success does not by default equate always making the right decision, or even making the right decision most of the time. They're not mutually exclusive things. But again, thank you, Clayton. You gave me something to talk about. I sat there and I shook my head. It's like, and you're not getting my point. Plus, it was satirical, and I am by far not the only person that has pointed out how stupid it was for Musk to change the logo to X. So there you have it. Now, Judy, I think Judy saw the video I put out today. Did you see it yet, Laurel? Let's go back here. I'll see whether I can see it. Judy says, I literally saw it just before the show. Oh, the video? Oh, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous day out there. And I was reviewing, before I even downloaded the stuff off of the camera, I was reviewing some of the footage, especially the latter half, the second half. And I was like, holy crap. I could not believe the colors that were there. Now, admittedly, my monitors that I'm using right now are not calibrated, and they should be. So, but on my cell phone, everything looked absolutely fantastic. When I watched the video again, on my two studio monitors, yeah, some of this it looks like it's could be a bit crisper, because what I had to do is, the camera's overexposed thing, so I had to turn down the highlights. So at the clouds, you could see the clouds, so they just weren't pure white. Judy says, oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, like I said, I watched it on my cell phone. Oh, it's stunning. The camera did a great job. On my other two monitors, not so much. Like I said, it gives it a little bit hazy, but I think it's my monitors. Speaking of monitors, I talked about in one of the last shows that in a couple months I may be able to move to another room and do an actual video studio, quote unquote, properly. The one that I'm in right now, it's a multi-use room. I've got my weights in here. This is my workout room. So I have my free weights, my weight machine, and I have my audio studio that I use for audio-only podcasts and stuff like that. So it wasn't set up for video work. Again, I don't have enough throw on the camera. I'd like to change that. If I move to the other room, I can change that because I can set the equipment where I want, and I can have a dedicated room for that purpose. What I'd also like to do is get a dedicated camera for that. Could I use the one I'm using now? Yes, I can, but it's not a dedicated camera, and it's not the ideal camera. What dedicated camera would allow me to do is to get the proper focal distance and the right lens so that it crops it in naturally. You're seeing you're seeing about 1/6 to 1/8 of what the camera's actually picking up because it's such a wide lens. Now, I would use a lens more appropriate so that the lens pretty much captures what you're seeing. Now, what that allows is it's better quality. I can blow it up larger and not miss any quality. And it just allows me to do it correctly. I figure that's going to cost me all in. I can probably do it for a tad bit under, but I want $1,000. So what I'm thinking about doing is putting out to folks, and I'm just letting you folks have a heads up that if people would like me to upgrade my studio, which would also allow me to get higher quality other content, I'm going to bring back, I said I was going to do Quick Draw with the Whiskey Cowboy. I'm not. I'm going to do Breaking Leather again. I think Breaking Leather is a little bit more apt for what I'm doing because it'll be up to 15 minutes video dedicated to a topic. It may only be 2 or 3 minutes, but I'm going to do up to 15 minutes. So it's not so much a quick draw by definition. Breaking Leather used to be the name of my podcast. And some folks know what breaking leather means. Some folks don't. Breaking leather is a terminology for drawing your pistol out of its holster, because pistol holsters used to all be leather. So you would literally break leather. So that's where the term came from. So that was the name of my podcast, because I was going to break leather on any given issue. Usually each podcast had 3 to 5 topics that I covered. But yeah. So I'll bring back the Breaking Leather, but it won't be in standard podcast form. It'll be similar to this, but it won't be live. Format's going to be a little bit different. I won't use the same American flag stuff. It'll be different. Excuse me, but the same idea where you're going to have me talking. Sometimes I may be full screen. You'll have content coming in. But being that it's not live, I can be a little fancier with it. And I can remove some of the clunkiness that we have on the show. Oh, there it is. There's my daughter going in her kayak. She's zipping around. She had an absolutely wonderful time. So what do you all think about that? I think folks would like to donate in. Hey, I've got enough people. If each person just donated $5, $1,000 would be there in no time. And then I wouldn't have to worry about moving the camera, changing the camera. It'd be done right. Judy says, sounds great. You know, audio's fine. I was going to use my DSLR for it. Laura says, sounds like a plan. Awesome. I was going to use my DSLR for it, but my DSLR was pre-unlimited on times. Your cameras they'll shut down. And then even some new cameras that after you can have them shut down 10, 20, 40, 50, 60 minutes, whatever. So I can't do a podcast with that or a live stream because the camera's going to shut down. And I think that mine automatically shuts down at like 45 minutes. So I can't use it for streaming. If it was a newer model, yeah, I could do it. But plus the fact that I didn't buy that camera, though it does video, I did not buy it for video. It was for photography. But the whole studio move and all of that, we're looking at probably 2 months. before that can happen anyways. But I don't like waiting until the last minute. I like to get my ducks in a row, my chickens in a row. And then get things done. And it won't be the most top-of-the-line camera, but it's going to be a camera that's going to do the job adequately enough, and much better than this. This is my action cam, which is working. It was better than my other camera. It was. The other one, I got what's the best webcam out there? And I got what was arguably one of the best webcams out there. And I tried it out, and it's like, oh, no. I think I did 2 shows with it and said no. And then we went back to just my static picture until we put this one up. Hey, Donna, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
I'm doing fantastic.
All right.
Weather was awesome. Almost fall weather. Early fall. So this morning it was like 60 or so outside.
You're kidding.
Oh, yeah, it was gorgeous. It's like, wow.
God.
Wish
I was there.
Need a sweater in the morning or a jacket outside on the porch. I went out to see the gals, but then it went the day, I think it was like 80 or so. So again, that's a typical early fall day where it's hot in the day, cold at night, and in the mornings, but it was absolutely wonderful. I can handle that. I like that too because when it cools down in the evening, I don't mind it being hot in the daytime, but if it cools down in the evening, then that's good fire weather. When it's super humid and hot, I don't want a fire out there.
Yeah.
Judy says it's 107 right now. Yeah, stop it.
Yeah.
Has your humidity broke yet, Donna?
I think
Donna,
ours was
Judy.
103.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
How's the humidity? You're in Arkansas and she's in Oklahoma, so.
Yeah, we're pretty close to the same humidity situation.
Yeah, ours is about broke. It was beautiful. Like I said, got yard work done. She says, no, it's awful. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully it'll break for y'all soon. Donna, did you see the video?
Yes.
Okay,
wonderful. Good. Wasn't that just beautiful?
Oh, it's a beautiful day. Now, I have a bunch of footage that I couldn't use because the wind. It was back on the back trip. But I got enough. Actually, I had more than enough to use to fill up 15 minutes. But yeah, beautiful day. Except for the wind coming back. Hugged the shorelines, avoided most of it. Had a great time. I don't know where I'm going to go the next time. She probably won't be with me. She doesn't make it all the time.
Hey, some of us have to work, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's scheduling. It's not whether you work or not. It's
I'm jerking
yeah. I mean, she works, and I work, but I have a more flexible schedule. Speaking of work, I have an interview tomorrow afternoon for a radio show.
Really?
Yeah. Now, you folks may have noticed way back, I had Dr. Tom, and he's from Wyoming. I had him on the show, and he was running for school board, I believe it was. It was the state's, basically, school superintendent. He was running for that. And he follows my content. He follows my page. And he's now doing a radio show, and he's got a half an hour spot every Saturday, and he's gonna put me in. So we're going to record that tomorrow afternoon, and I'll let everybody know where they can tune in. They should be able to tune in online. Most everything's online nowadays. So. I'm not gonna. Nothing groundbreaking. It's just, if you want to hear my voice, you'll hear my voice again.
So it's at a radio station. So what's it going to be about?
Well, you're going to have to find out.
Oh, golly, I don't get your radio stations.
No, it's on. You'll be able to watch it. You'll be able to listen to it online. I'll give everybody the link.
Oh,
But
great.
he's
Cool.
gonna ask me how I got involved with social media. He's gonna ask me how I got involved with social media. He's gonna a little bit about myself probably. My main topic is going to be social media, and they need to be deemed a public utility, and the reasons why, and explain, giving myself as an example, especially what happened last month. And if it was a public utility, that wouldn't have been able to happen. And that was pretty much, he had interviewed somebody else here in the recent past, and it was on a similar situation. Like I said, since he follows my content, he's like, oh yeah, that fit right in. So could we set up an interview time? So that's what it's going to be. And then whatever else happens, we blocked out 45 minutes to an hour of talking. You know how guys can get when they get yakking, and then it'll be slice and dice for about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes of airtime. Judy says, congratulations. Oh, you're welcome. He was on my show. It was just everybody helping everybody out. And if you make good content, you can make good content, and you just spread the wealth. But I thought that everybody should know about that, and hopefully they can give a listen in on the show and help him and what he's doing. Because us little guys, it matters the most. I say this all the time. Everybody thinks that everybody is on an even playing field. No, they're not. Us little guys have to work a hell of a lot harder, and we still don't get the bacon. So, yeah. Yeah, the Biden thing's exploding again.
Ah, well, God, they'll sneak out of it some way or another.
They'll figure something out.
Yeah, they'll figure something out. They've already got it figured out.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I was listening to Matt Walsh bitch about shit today about it. He's spot on. He's tired of the Republicans. He goes, the same way with Hillary. Put her in jail, put her in jail, put her in jail. Yeah, we're going to put her in jail. We're going to put her in jail. Then they get elected, and what do? They don't do shit. That's the Republican way.
Yeah.
Bitch about stuff to get votes, and then when they're in power, don't do a damn thing. But like he said, clearly the Democrats don't work like that. That's how we had Obamacare. That's how we had all sorts of crap. That's how we've got them misusing the DOJ and other government agencies against their political opponents because they do shit. Oh, but the Republicans, they've got to take the high ground. Then, you know what? If you're going to take the high ground, quote unquote, don't campaign on getting shit done. Because, the rest of us, we've had it. Simply had it. Do it.
Yeah.
Stop talking.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they do. The judge smacked down a whole crap load of stuff with the Hunter Biden deal. Said, hey, no. So that's interesting. So at least that's one step in the positive direction.
Well, I watched a video from C-SPAN. I think it aired yesterday. I didn't watch it until today on immigration. That was really interesting.
Yeah, who was on?
Sitting here trying to let me.
Now, since that was C-SPAN, was that a congressional hearing or?
No, it was not a congressional hearing. This was a symposium type situation that was put on by the Heritage Foundation.
Okay. Yep. Because I know they generally cover things. They don't generally have a, It
was called the Discussion on Border Detention Policy and Practices. It was really, really interesting.
Do you recall who was on it?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now.
Oh, okay.
If you go to C-SPAN and just type in.
No, I thought you were pulling it up, so I'll just let you tell me.
I
Yeah,
am.
I'll trust you on this. It saves me finger
Oh,
time.
but I tell you what, if you want to listen to something that is really, really interesting, it was let's see here. The guys, I can see them right here, but it's not giving me the names off I'd almost have to run through it. Let me see what I got here. We got a former immigration judge,
Okay.
and his name I think was Andrew Arthur or something like that.
Yeah, doesn't ring a bell, but
anyway.
most of us aren't up on all the judges anyway. So.
And then there was a former interrogation and customs enforcement official.
Mm-hmm.
And
right. What was? Do you know what he did? What was his rank roughly? What I mean.
I
was he a department head? Was he? Or if you don't know, you don't know. That's fine.
Well, I would have to go and listen to the front part again. I mean, because that's when they introduce these people.
Mm-hmm.
And the other guy there was a third guy, and he had something to do with ICE or something. But
mm-hmm.
It was really informative.
Oh yeah, the system is screwed.
It's
the games
fucked.
that are being played. It's like,
it's
oh
fucked.
my goodness, yeah.
All right, I'm not kidding. They explained exactly how they're going about this
mm-hmm.
to get around, like how this parole situation works and how they're getting around the detention part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just really interesting.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it's
what
infuriating. It's absolutely insane. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's an E word too, right? I word. Interesting and infuriating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's outright criminal is what it is. It's treasonous.
It is. It actually is.
Yeah.
It's just, God forbid, I hope that people that are actually concerned about this get voted in and actually do something about it.
Yeah. I may have to do a deep dive and post up something about it, because it's another one of those issues I post up every about 3 to 6 months and say, hey folks, this shit's still going on, right? Everybody forgets about it. If it's not the top shiny thing on the news cycle, they forget that it's happening. It hasn't stopped. It's still going on. We still have this problem.
Now, this was just over an hour. If you've got an hour of your time somewhere, I would suggest listening to it. It's just unfucking-real.
Or less. Is it on well, if it's on C-SPAN, then they've got to have it on YouTube.
Well, they probably do. Yeah.
Here's a trick. If you want to if you don't have the time to watch an hour, speed up the film.
Well, yeah.
And then you can stop it when you need to, because there's a lot of dead time in those things anyway. So just
I tell you what, C-SPAN is going more and more liberal all the time. I have been. I always watch these hearings and everything. Well, sometimes they're 3 or 4 or 5, 6 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have time to sit there. You got things to do. And I had watched one of those hearings last week. It was either on RFK Jr. or the other one. I know Junior was on. I know they. Yeah. And I had to come back because I had to leave, and I thought, well, okay, I'll catch this later. Well, I ended up having to go to YouTube to get it.
Right.
Because what C-SPAN is doing is they're truncating. They are truncating these videos. And then they'll put these stars up there, these bullet points.
Mm-hmm.
And 95% of them are favorable to the Democratic.
Right. Favorable to one view or misleading at best.
Exactly.
They're poisoning the well.
And yeah, they begin to piss me off.
And that's not what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to, C-SPAN is just supposed to air stuff. That's it.
Exactly.
This is happening in
So-
Congress. This is happening over here. That's at the Heritage Foundation. This is Ben Shapiro at whoever university.
Yeah,
They're just supposed to
yeah.
air it. They're not
And
CNN. CNN, they
do.
have their talking heads. But
At the time of airing, they do, but then they go back later. Like if you have to come back to it later, it's truncated.
yeah.
So YouTube, go to YouTube.
Yeah, and that's a
Heritage
shame
Found-
because it was just straight whatever it was. Just
I know it.
air it.
I know it. You could pick it up anytime.
Yep.
It's Heritage Foundation discussion on border detention policies and practices. And it'll blow your mind.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had posted up stuff, too. They had border agents cutting and removing barbed wire fencing, the concertina wire, to let people up because they had made it to U.S. soil, so you got to let them in. It's like, no, don't let them in.
Tell them to walk down to the next station or whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
go away.
don't cut the fence.
Right. Go away. Oh, and they, the sleight of hand of saying that illegal border crossings is down. Well, what they did is they made a
bullshit.
shit ton more legal places for them to cross the border. Didn't mean that they were here in the States legally, but they just went and, they went and authorized crossing
Well,
points.
this
It's like,
new
stop it.
phone thing they got going on, I mean, it just, and they can skew the numbers any way they feel like. Oh, I watched that Mayorkas hearing. God, the guy can't open his mouth without lying. I swear to God. He does not answer the questions.
Nobody does.
Oh,
That's why I could never do the job because it'd be like, stop. No. Every time I asked a simple question. You're trying to bloviate and go in a different direction. Just answer the question that was asked.
Yes or no. And he'll freaking dance around.
Yep.
I mean, it's unreal.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And I've always thought, this is so crazy. 20 years ago, we had 11 million undocumented people. And today, we still have 11 million. And yet, 5 million have come across in the last 2 years.
Yeah, funny how those numbers work like that.
Isn't that funny how that works?
Yeah. You can't have open borders and no real enforced immigration policies and a welfare state at the same time. You can't do it. It doesn't work.
I'll tell you.
Have one or the other.
Yeah.
You want to get rid of the welfare state? Fine. But you can't have both. Crazy.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow, it's only 8:34 already. I'm getting a headache. Long day. Of course, that's every day. Unless of course I'm laying in bed right now watching TV, getting ready to go to sleep. Then it's not really such a long day. But yeah, I have no idea where I'm going to go next on the water.
Well, it's supposed to cool off here after next week.
Yeah.
So
I'm just worried about water. Heat doesn't bother me too bad. Water.
Yeah.
So a lot of the rivers that I wanted to get out on, no. With all the rain not happening. So I've been hitting lakes instead. Delicious. Again, tonight's coffee. Blueberry muffin
Oh, yuck.
from Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, I know you don't like fruits.
Yeah,
I still
just
say
fruity coffee.
you'd probably like the chocolate covered strawberries.
Yeah, I think I would like that. That might.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty damn
That
good.
one that truly surprised me. And the missus went, and she's like, "Oh, I went to New England Brand's website. Look at all these other stuff that doesn't hit our stores. Like, look at all these other ones. What ones do you want?" And I'm like, she's listing off 5, 10. I don't know. There had to have been close to 10, if not more. And it's like, holy cow! I have number one. We've got coffee, so let's just pick up a couple, and then when the other ones rotate out, we'll expand and get the other ones. But
Oh, I had the funniest thing happen yesterday. I always, I'm up early, so I first thing I usually do is get up and I usually feed the dog out on the deck. Well, I know I've had skunks around here. They'd never bothered me because they do their natural thing. They're denning by the time the sun's coming up.
mm, mm,
I stepped off of the deck. The deck is up high, so there's about 8 steps or so down to the ground, and and there's a skunk. It's like a juvenile skunk. Must have been born, in the spring. I had never seen any juveniles around. And
is a
evidently
Ute.
he had been out too late. He was trying to get back, and I was in between it and the where he was wanting to go.
Mm.
And my dog was out running around. I thought, oh crap, if she gets wind of this or, sees this thing, I said, it's going to be Stink City.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally finagled her around and put her back in the house and let the skunk go wherever it was going. And yeah, it was fun.
Well, hey, it's all fun as as long as it's not stinky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get your blood pressure up and your heart beating, but
Well,
no
it kind
no
of threw
stink.
me off guard when I first seen it because I thought, he was only about he was down just around the corner about a couple of feet from where the step ends, and I thought, what the hell's he doing out here? And then I noticed it was just a young one,
Mm.
probably 4 or 5 months old
Yeah.
or so. But I thought, oh yeah, he lost his way home.
He'll figure it out.
Yeah, he'll figure it out.
So what else have we got going on? We got we hit Biden. We hit Elon and his ex.
Oh, I missed that. I kind of got in a little late. So
Well, you can watch from the beginning
yeah,
later.
yeah.
Um, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why Musk did that.
It's,
Something like
it's people who love Musk, they love to ignore that he does some really weird stuff sometimes.
He does. He does some really weird things.
Like I said,
He
he's
does
in a
really
tax
good
bracket
things
that allows him to
sometimes, but he
do it.
does. Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, his mistakes doesn't hurt him like it hurts us. We
What
do
the
some
hell
of
was
that
the
stuff.
matter with Twitter?
Nothing's the matter with Twitter.
What was wrong with it that he did that?
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
it's Musk being Musk. You know, I think narcissism plays a big part in a lot of the stuff that he does, and the fact that he's got, like I said, screw you money. You know,
Well, that's true.
he can just piss it away. It doesn't matter. He can do something stupid and it doesn't really affect him. And we
Yeah.
try that, and it's like, no, we can't do that. We can make one stupid mistake. That's it. After that, no.
I guess he's just totally trying to get totally away from the brand, the Twitter.
But I don't. Look, I have no problem with him changing the brand. But if you're going to change the brand, come on, X? No. He likes X.
that's
He
no
loves
good.
X. That's Elon. He
Evidently.
loves X. But like I pointed out, all of your apps that you have, X closes the app. It kills it. It's dead. So hey, Elon, don't go in that direction.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe his line of thinking. He's got a brain and a half. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. just weird.
Yeah, it's weird. I think it's more he's got screw you money. I think he does a lot of stupid stuff because he does not ever have to suffer the consequences for it. Is he brilliant? Yeah, he's a brilliant guy. Doesn't mean that everything that he does and thinks is brilliant. He has a lot of bonehead ideas. He has a lot of bonehead stuff that he implements.
Well, most brilliant people are
Yeah.
that way. I mean,
They confuse
They
they
really
confuse what they're good at with they're good at everything. It's like no.
I don't know
No.
what it is. I know, yeah, I know several people that are extremely brilliant, and yet they'll do some of the,
Craziest things.
yeah,
What were you thinking? Stop it.
yeah. But it doesn't hurt them. I mean, for some strange reason. So
Delicioso. Delicioso. Yeah, there's blueberry muffin, then there's blueberry cobbler. There's another one that I get. Man, I got an itch. Got an itch. Man, his nose
Got
is
bugs.
itching. He's got, what the hell is he? On crack or something? No. I'm on coffee. It's my eyes are heavy.
Judy.
I get these. You know where you feel like you got bugs crawling all over you. You ever go through those times?
Oh yeah.
It's like, okay, and then
Usually
something will
when
hit you
you're
here.
out in the
And then
woods.
something will hit you over here. And then you get an itch on your leg. And it's like, what the hell is going on here? That's one of those things. Got another one right up there. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just tired. Well, it goes without saying that I'm tired. But maybe that's the reason. Maybe that's the reason, because I'm tired.
You got a pet.
I got a pet. Oh, yeah. I've got... Yeah, right now there's...
That's what I call it when you feel like you got
a pet on your body. It's like, well, I have
you got a
pets.
pet.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed. I'm still waiting for everybody to migrate over. Now,
I am too.
Tonight, as you can see, I'm having an issue. Because if you notice, the flag isn't waving.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I keep trying to start it and stop it. I'll go to the internet and I'll pop it and then see, and it'll start. That's a video file. So I have no idea why that video file...
Yeah.
Oh, that one's going longer than it has been. Okay, keep our fingers crossed. Knock on wood. See, and then it stopped. So I have no idea what that problem is. I wouldn't be surprised if it's another
Up there
time
it
that...
stopped.
Yeah, it stopped. I may have to restart my system. I have been using it really hard. Like I said, I got 6 hours of video editing this morning.
Yeah,
So-
it pays once in a while just to restart the
Yeah,
system.
just shut it down. Give it a couple minutes, start it back up.
When I worked in technology, I'd go to somebody's machine and they'd say, well, what was, I'll fix it. And they'll say, well, what was the problem? I said, oh, it was a picnic.
A
Meaning
picnic.
problem in chair, not in computer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been known to have that problem every now and again.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, I can't hear me. I can't hear you. I can't hear. Yeah, well, I've got the volume slider down. It's like, yeah, no shit, you can't hear him. Come on, John, slide the slider up. It happens. Oh man. Judy and Laurel are quiet.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, Peg hasn't been on in a while.
Yeah, she hadn't been on in quite a while.
Spoke to Connie the other day online, so I
Oh,
know
yeah.
she's around, but she hasn't made the show.
I don't know if people have an aversion to YouTube or what the hell.
No, yeah, I don't know what theirs are. I know what Connie's issue is.
Well, yeah, but I mean
But,
others. There she is.
There's Judy. Yeah, 6 are watching. Yeah, I know people watch, and they don't type up. Although the good part is I'm not worried about algorithms as much here as on Facebook, because it was on Facebook.
Oh,
It's like,
gosh,
no,
yeah.
please type something. It doesn't. The chat area doesn't matter as much here because that's not my purpose on YouTube. My purpose on YouTube is just have a steady platform and not get shut down by the whims of Facebook for posting things they don't like.
I'm glad you got away from
Yeah.
that. So.
But there's no reason why. There's no reason why folks that were following me on Facebook for the live shows, why they can't come here. Everybody's got YouTube.
Well,
I
sure.
understand if it's Rumble. Not everybody has Rumble, but everybody has YouTube. So get your ass over here and join the show.
Yeah. There's something out there.
Yeah, Judy says have fun and not worry. Yeah. I know the things that would trip you up on YouTube. So honestly, not an issue. It's not an issue. Pretty much all you got to do is just not misgender somebody. That's it.
I saw the funniest cap the other day. It says, my dog ate my pronouns. Did I tell you this? My dog ate my pronouns. And then below that, it's got he/she/it.
And
he
yes,
shit.
he shit. That's right.
I thought that was so cute.
Oh, that's a really crappy joke.
Yeah, it
it stinks. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I can stream. I can push more data here. I have my flag is supposed to be waving. But whatever.
Yeah, well, like you said, restart your system
Yeah,
tonight,
probably take care of it.
and that'll take care of it, I'm sure.
Oh, and then for the new studio, I got to make these plans. Then I got to go. Do I want the flag in the background, or do I want a feature wall? You know, a lot of times they'll have like a feature wall with shelves, and they'll put stuff on the shelves in the background. So it's like, all these decisions.
What would you put on it? Whiskey.
Well, I could put, rotate a whiskey bottle out.
Whiskey and coffee.
I could put up like. Put my revolver up on it. I could, I've got stuff like I've got my, here is my, I have this in my studio. It's on top of one. Here we go. Everything's backwards. This is my old-timey police car.
Yeah.
But here's
54, where are you?
Here's the funny thing. This is a 1928. But what this really is, watch this. It's a birdhouse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, see that? It's a birdhouse.
Oh, how cool.
So it's got a little bird perch off the... I'm trying to do everything backwards. It's got a little bird perch off the side of the door and a hole in the door, and the car is hollow on the inside.
So is it made of wood?
Yeah, it's made of wood.
Wow.
Is it wood? I don't know. Is it wood or is it plastic? No, it's plastic. Looks like wood.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, and I got I never took it off, but there's a plug in the bottom so you can...
Yeah, clean it out.
But yeah, we saw this. I don't know where this was. Has a hole in the top. It's where the rope would go. You put a rope in it and knot on the inside, and it hangs. But we saw this. It was some shop. I was like,
That's cute.
that is freaking awesome.
Yeah, it is.
So I had to pick it up. So that's my. There we go. Put it back over there. It's on top of my audio equipment. You can see it in the old pictures of the whole studio. I have the whole studio, and it's got a light over there, and then I've got that. So that's over there. But now you know the story and what the police car actually is. It's a birdhouse. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. So yeah, I could put that up on the shelves, and I've got stuff that I could put. I can put some old microphones. They're not old microphones. They're new microphones, but they're
old timey.
No, they're not old timey.
Oh, they're not.
They're new. They're new microphones, but they're old to me. They're the ones I did a
Oh.
progression from. This is the mic that I started with, and then I went to this mic, and until I get the mic that I have now, which is my MXL BCD1. MXL BCD1 is the one that I'm using now, and it works great. I love this, and I'm running it with a Fathead line booster and into my. I went over my equipment quite a few shows. Well, quite a few. Yeah, very, very. I just look. We got 12 shows up now on YouTube, but I think we did 14 or 15 since we moved over. But I eliminated some of them because I just didn't. I didn't like Moonface. It's like so. I got rid of it. So I got rid of the Moonface ones and went with the proper distance and everything. But yeah. Now I could use a Shure microphone, but those are, I think they're $500 or $600. Well worth it. They're nice, and this one is half the price.
Who's the maker of
this? MXL. But it suits my voice, so it's fine. Like I tell people, get a good mic. There's a wide range of mics out there. Just get a good mic and then tweak your audio settings. Nobody's going to be able to tell whether you're using the top of the line Shure mics, or whether you're using a Rode mic or a MXL, or nobody's going to know. They're just going to know whether or not you sound okay. So I haven't felt the need to upgrade this one. This is the long list. It's the end of the journey of mics that I have tried.
You want to go out? You want to go outside? Daisy wants to go out. I got to.
Yeah, I figured that. It's like, no, I don't want to go outside. Judy, do you want to go outside? Go outside. Want to go potty? Go potty. Oh, and speaking of that, just that tone of voice. It's like when I go out to the chickens. It's like, oh, you goofy girls. My goofy girls. Soon as they, hey, well, I figured she wasn't talking to me because I'm sitting in the studio. But I go outside as soon as I go outside and I shut the screen door. It's a screen door, but it's not a screen door. It's a wooden door, and the center part where the windows are, looks like a regular door, comes out. So you have a screen panel that goes in, and then in the wintertime you have the glass panel that goes in. It's really old, but it's really cool. Put on by wing nut thingies. But as soon as they hear that, and I'm out on the front porch, like, hey, there's some goofy girls, and they come running out from the back of the chicken run to say hi and jump up on the roosts and say, hey, what are you doing? They're getting really goofy. And they don't like sleep. If the weather is bad, they'll sleep inside their tent. If the weather's good, they sleep on their roost. So it's like, okay, well, whatever. If that's what makes you happy. Don't have a predator problem. So. Yeah, Judy says, oh, that's how mine work. Yeah. They're getting to be that age. They get nothing chicky about them anymore. They're big girls. They got their personalities, and they'll come running up, and they're just like super goofy. They're super goofy. I'd mentioned that before we even got them. So that's one of the reasons, because they're known as the clowns of the barnyard. And they love to run and flit. They don't. They'll walk sometimes, but they prefer to from one place to another. They're just funny. She says they are so adorable. Love those videos. Yeah, I got to get out and do a proper video again. I think the last one was a cell phone, which, I mean, that's fine, but get out the DSLR, put it in video mode like I did the last time, and get out there and get some proper footage of them. They're funny. Got a box in the mail today. So, what's this? It's making a weird noise. It looks like a cat toy. It's a big ball. It's like this, and it's one side's like yellow and one side's green or blue. I don't know what the hell it is. It's two bright colors. And then inside it's got another ball with a bell in it. And the chickens, you can put lettuce in it if you want, but you don't need to. It's just in there. They like to peck at it, and it makes noise, and it moves around. So that's their first official toy. I think that's their first official toy we've got for them. Yeah, I just built I got 3 roosts in there. No toys. I still have to build a platform for their waterer, though. I've got it on. You've seen it. They're the blue. They're bins that you attach to a wall inside of a shop. She says, "Oh, they love toys." Yeah, anything to keep them busy. But yeah, I just got them upside down, and then the 5-gallon waterer is sitting on top of it now. If it's not perfect and there's not enough weight on it, they've actually pulled one of the things out, so then you're sitting on 2. It's like, stop it. Mischievous little girls. So I've got to get a standard. I'll just build a little square for them to sit on. They have it'll be 8 inches off the ground, something like that. I don't know. It's got to be tall enough where they're not jumping in it. They still get it all full of crap, and not crap, dirt, sand. But I'll figure it out. It's fine. They're doing great. And I've got to get the actual coop made. So that's on the to-do list, and that's going to be done here shortly, because probably within a month or just over a month, they should be ready to start laying eggs. So we'll see how that goes. I've got to get everything made and put in there, because that tent's not going to do it. Tent's not going to do it. That's good for when they're youngins. Yeah, that's really annoying me that flag is not flying. Really annoying me. Because it's not working properly. Don't know where Gus and Sally are. They might be still listening anyways. Been hiding. I need to get got to get the right topic for Gus to go. I don't want to type, so I got to jump into the Zoom room. $8:58. This is going to be a long damn show. Sometimes you're like, oh shit, it's been 2 hours already. Are you a fried guy or scrambled? My main go-to is over easy or sunny side up. But I do enjoy scrambled eggs. Just depends upon my meal. Now, we've already decided the first eggs are going to be for steak and eggs. That's what we're going to use the first eggs for. Steak, eggs, home fries. Yeah, see, here he goes. Mr. Gus. Judy says, oh, God, yes. Yes, absolutely. Steak, eggs, and home fries.
Oh, home fries. Love home fries. Lots of onions.
Onions?
Oh, yes.
And home fries?
Oh, God, yeah.
Home fries, you just diced and broiled. How do you do home fries? Home fries for me is not fries. They're not French fries. It's
just
diced.
cut up potatoes
It's diced taters, and you Put some olive oil and some salt and pepper on it. Throw it in the oven. And you do onions with
I
that.
fry mine in a frying pan.
Oh, you fry them in a frying pan? Yeah, that'll
it's
work
Southern
too.
way. Everything's fried.
Yeah, you can do it on a griddle too.
Oh, yeah.
Takes longer on a griddle though.
Yeah, it does.
I just throw it in the oven.
You take lots of potatoes like that and put them in foil and then put a lot of butter on them and sprinkle Lipton onion soup mix on them.
Mm-hmm.
Flip them every now and then. Those are really good on the grill.
Laurel says over easy or omelet. Yeah, omelets are good too.
Oh, yeah. I like eggs anyway.
Home fries, extra crispy. And we do home fries in the air fryer too. They cook faster, but I don't think they caramelize as well in the air fryer.
Yeah.
Gus.
What?
What? I said hello.
Hello.
Sally there?
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
You back
How's
home
everyone?
now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Hash browns extra crispy, says Laurel. Yeah, hash browns. Now, do you like hash browns mini diced, or do you like shredded, or do you like patties? So hash browns, shredded, the mini diced, or patties.
Anyway,
yeah.
I love potatoes. I just love potatoes.
Yeah, I don't. I'm the same way. Any way is fine by me. Whatever I happen to have at the time, I have no preference. Judy says hello, Gus and Sally.
Hello, Judy.
Hello.
Yes, we've been listening.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Gus saw the video. He saw it bright and early in the morning. No, it couldn't.
Yeah.
Not in the morning. It was just afternoon because it
Yeah.
was bright in the morning. Shortly after I put it up. So that was what, about 1 o'clock.
About a minute after you did it.
Yeah. So I'm thinking morning. It wasn't morning because I started doing that at. It was about 7:30. I started editing and I finished up and it was online about 1 o'clock. I think. Sounds about right, doesn't it, Gus? It's about 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Laurel likes shredded. She likes her hash brown shredded.
For hash browns, I prefer them to be shredded, I think.
Yeah, shredded's good. I like the little diced ones too. Patties
Yeah,
are
the
okay.
diced
Patties when I'm lazy. I like the patties. You can get the pre-made ones and they're patties.
Yeah,
I like
they
them
just
if I'm going to
taste
make
the-
like a English muffin sandwich or something. So then you have your
Yeah.
egg and your hash brown, and then you have your
Yeah,
bacon.
I'd rather shred my own potatoes.
Oh yeah, shred. Yeah. Hey, y'all know me. Homemade stuff is all fine and well. I do a crap ton of it, but I'm not averted to
Well, yeah,
pre-made
once in a while
stuff.
You have to,
You gotta have some
just for time's sake.
Yeah, time's sake, and if you need it on the spur of the moment, it's there. Because shredded homemade's good, but to do it right, you need to shred it, you need to rinse it, you need to let it sit.
Yep.
It's a process. Because if you just shred your potato and then just try to it's way too much moisture in it. It's not going to work. Rinse it, get starch out of it, pat it dry, let it sit.
Yeah.
It's a process. But it's good. It's good. Yeah, speaking of that, we just put in some more, cut up some pork loin. So I got pork loin steaks, and we've got Caribbean jerk marinating. We've got, what the hell it is. It's some pepper, spicy sweet pepper thing. I don't know what it is. Marinade and then just, I don't know, regular stuff. We did our chicken the other day. Yeah, it's best way. You got to spend money, but you get the meat cheaper if you can buy it on sale and buy it in large quantities.
Yeah, and Yeah, it depends where you get it to.
Yeah.
It seems like anymore.
And prep it up right and then put it in the freezer. Take it out in the morning. Good for dinner. Right, Gus?
Right. I know we get very picky where we buy the chicken because we've bought it before and it tastes disgusting. And it's that I don't know how to really say it, but it's
Maybe it's
they're bionic chickens, you know.
The bionic chickens?
They don't, yeah, they don't have their
I don't get to eat bugs and stuff like that. They're not free range.
right. They're just it's a whole entire different taste, and the meat is
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
as
I found that when I lived up in North Dakota, we'd go up to Canada once in a while, and there's places up there. This was before we had like food bars and stuff like that down here. But you'd go and you'd pick out your piece of meat, and then there was a huge grill, and you grilled your own meat. But yeah, it's really interesting. But up there, the beef is grain fed. It's not corn fed, and it tastes totally different.
Yeah, corn's not really a good. It's good, it tastes good, but it's not. It's animals are not, and people, we don't process it as well as some of the other
Well, that's true. And
stuff out there. But it's cheap, it's plentiful.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good in
Yeah, we
shepherd's
always
pie.
made
Gotta have corn for your shepherd's pie. Corn.
yeah.
Not by way of meat.
What was that, Sally?
Not by way of meat,
Not by way of meat.
right?
The corn.
The corn, you know, they feed it to them. Then you eat the meat.
Oh,
so you
yeah. Okay. It's like, wow, lost me on that one.
roundabout way.
Roundabout way, yeah, yeah. Corn's a filler. It's a filler. So
Yeah.
You don't,
but it definitely gives the meat a different taste.
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
know,
sure.
what
It's the
we're
same
used
way as
to.
if you eat venison.
Well,
Good
yeah,
year versus
yeah.
bad year. You can tell if they've had a good year and what they've been eating. If they've been eating
Oh,
regular
yeah.
grains and grasses and good stuff like that, the meat's going to be better. If it's a dry year and they just eat twigs and pine cones and crap like that, you're going to be gamey.
Yeah, well, and up north they raise a lot of sunflowers, and the deer get really big on
Yeah, I'm sure they're happy too.
ours there. Yeah, they're really,
Happy deer.
but it affects the taste of the meat.
I'm not a big venison guy, anyways. But I do it. I've eaten it. I'd do it if I have to. But hey, if I've got steak around,
Yeah,
I'll eat steak.
the only wild game I really really liked was elk.
Elk is good.
Yeah,
Elk is good.
is very
Yeah, I
good.
like elk.
But
or-
God, we've eaten bear.
You probably say bison. Bison would be in the same because it's either
I don't think it.
wild or not. I mean, it was supposed to be wild, but I like bison. I don't think that there'd be any
Moose
difference
I don't
between
like.
a wild bison steak and a ranch bison steak. They all eat the same thing.
Well, yeah, ranch raised stuff, yeah. But
Yes.
like we always put in every year for deer and antelope and all the
Mhm.
critters.
Yep.
And
All the critters.
I don't like moose.
You don't like moose.
No, don't care for moose meat.
Gus loves moose.
Very good.
Gus has a moose
Mm-hmm.
hat.
Hey, Gus, some people just
He
don't
walks
have
around
taste
with his
buds.
goose hat. I went from moose to goose. Boy, no. If I'm going to give him a hard time, stick on topic. Moose, not goose. The goose.
I feel sorry for Bullwinker.
With Bullwinkle,
Yes.
Rocky
I feel
flitting
sorry for
around.
Natasha.
Was it Boris? Was it Boris and Natasha?
Boris and Natasha, yeah.
Boris
Yeah.
and Natasha.
Yeah.
They were always getting the short end of the stick.
Well, yeah. Well, Boris has to because he's what,
Yeah, he's a
like
bad
two
guy. He's
2
got
foot
to-
tall, isn't he short? Natasha's taller and Boris is a short guy. Laurel says elk is delicious. Bison tastes good.
Oh God, yeah.
I like both bison and elk. Judy
Yeah.
has never partaketh of the moose.
Well,
Either.
I don't know. They live in sloughs and they eat
Sloughs.
swamp plants.
Moose.
That taste like
Did you say moose live in sloughs?
pretty much.
What's a slough?
Oh well.
I don't know.
Okay.
Moose live in a slough. A slough.
Well, they
Is it,
eat a lot of-
we're writing a Dr. Seuss book here. The moose
Yeah.
the moose that lived in a slough. It wasn't a farm, it wasn't a zoo. The moose it lived in a zoo,
lived
in
in
a
a
slough. The who? The moose. The slough? The slough.
Yeah.
The sleuzer.
Everybody, I guess everybody has. That's what we called it up there, a slough.
A slough. Laurel says the deer in Kentucky still eating good food during the season, and I got to pop this out. I call them speedy beef. Speedy beef. Speedy beef. That reminds me of Speedy Bee. Speedy Bee. I think Speedy Bee is at a gas station convenience store down in Louisiana. Speedy Bee. Had one
We
right
have
off
a
post.
little doe and her fawn out in the backyard.
Today, yeah.
Yeah, a what
Wow.
doe?
Yeah, a doe and a little fawn.
Oh,
The doe has been out here quite often, but today was the first day that we saw that she brought her fawn with her.
Hmm. And how old's the little one, do you reckon?
well, they should
I
be.
would say it's about the size of, it's about the size of our dog right now.
Yeah, they should be.
Okay.
They should be losing their spots.
Probably
now.
pretty close to the size of the one
Pretty
that I
close,
hit
yeah.
out on 106. Itty bitty thing.
We couldn't see it really well because the grass was taller than the fawn.
Oh, you haven't got out there mowing yet?
No, I've left the back field.
Oh, okay. So you can go low crawling through it?
No.
No,
Just-
no, I know you're out there low crawling
He
through
can
it.
slither like a snake.
Yeah.
Slither like a snake.
I mowed around the apple trees and I mowed my road down to my
Pew-pew.
pew-pew range.
Mm-hmm.
Pew range.
Pew.
Yeah.
So what kind of apple? Don't say crab. What kind of apple?
No,
you
I
get?
got one of them is a Mac and the other one's a Delicious.
Oh,
I
that's
had
good.
another one, but a bear decided that he wanted to take it right down.
You wanted the whole tree, huh?
Yeah, he pulled the whole tree down.
Greedy fucker. No,
Yeah.
no patience. Dude.
Nope.
Just don't tear it down. You can keep coming back for
apple.
them.
Yeah, he couldn't reach the apple, so he pulled the whole.
So he pulled the whole tree
Same thing he
down.
did to our-
Yeah,
yeah, same thing he did to our bird feeder.
that's not very nice of him.
No,
Or
that's
her.
all right.
Whatever it may be. Well, that's
I
not good.
planted them about 35 years ago, so
Wow.
that was why.
Huh?
I did it for the deer.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Oh,
dear.
dear.
No, you can't go bad with Max. Delicious are good. Granny Smiths are good.
Yeah, but the stupid deer never give him a chance to grow.
Yeah, stop it. You got to put a fence around your trees.
No, that's what I planted them for, though. So
Then why are you complaining?
I'm not.
No, I'd complain because I wouldn't plant the trees for the deer. It's my apples. Judy says black bear. No, probably not. Was it a little brown?
No, it was a pretty good sized black bear.
Oh, was it black?
Popped it over. Yeah, he was probably 250 pounds.
Oh.
Watched him do it.
Little one, little bear.
Yeah, he
Mm.
wouldn't.
A
He
little
goes,
bear.
yeah, okay, yeah,
Boo boo.
yeah.
Boo-boo.
Yogi.
Not a huge bear. We don't have huge bears in New Hampshire.
No, our average bear is only 150 pounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have New Hampshire. New Hampshire has nothing that wants to kill you. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. We have rattlers, but you've got to really go out of your way to even see them. They're usually up in the shale cliffs or someplace. You're not going to stumble across them.
Nope.
Bears, they'd rather be someplace else, and they're generally not that big as bears go. Moose. Occasionally, moose can be dangerous, but they're not out there to screw with you. Usually, you'll see them, so that's not just stay out of their way. They're damn near blind, so just stay out of their way. Yeah, we have no scorpions or spiders that'll kill you, or got skeeters, but get ticks, Lyme disease. Yeah, get Lyme disease. You've got one of your biggest threats in New Hampshire, and then it's, depending upon where you are, Lyme disease, ticks. That's so no, you don't have to load up with like a 10 millimeter or larger to go out walking in the woods because some nasty critter is going to get you. No, this is New Hampshire. It's no.
Most everything wants to run away from you.
Yeah, and they will give them the chance.
Except for skunks.
Oh, come on now.
Ran off for me.
Yeah.
When I opened the door.
Well, stop feeding them, Sally.
I wasn't.
She's,
I was letting Woody
like,
out.
It's Flower. He's coming to see me. Flower's coming to see me.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not Flower.
I know it's not Pepe.
Yeah. No, definitely not Pepe, but it's not Flower either. Because Flower was the skunk from Bambi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another quinky dink that I always point out, that Bambi was a boy, but in modern society, Bambi is a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's weird. Isn't that weird?
He grew up to have horns.
Yeah, he was a horny guy. Horns, antlers. The deer don't have horns; they have antlers.
I was just testing you on that
You
one.
know that.
I know that.
No. Cows have horns. Deers have antlers. Elk have antlers.
Moose have antlers.
Moose have antlers. Yep.
Moose have a rack.
Yeah.
Well, they'll have racks. No, they call a elk rack too. Yeah. So.
Yep. But our moose around here are nothing like they are up in like Alaska or something.
Yeah.
Places like that. Our moose averaged maybe between 600 to maybe 900 pounds.
Yeah.
And most of the moose, like in Alaska, they're like, Christ, they're 14,
they're quite a bit
15.
bigger. Anywhere from the Continental Divide, north and east, they're much bigger.
Yeah.
Well, we said the same thing. We were talking about the grizzlies that are versus the grizzlies in Colorado or Montana versus the grizzlies in what they call grizzlies would be in Alaska. They're not the same. One's a Kodiak grizzly and one is just a grizzly, which we'd call just a brown bear or similar. But not like New Hampshire brown bears. They're way bigger, but they're not like Grizzly Adams Kodiak grizzly bears. That's not what it is.
Or Revelant.
Yeah.
Or what? The Reverend?
Reverend, yeah.
The Reverend. Hey, we talked about that. You know that movie was actually less horrific than the guy's real life.
Mm-hmm.
Normally the movies are worse than what happened in real life. In The Reverend, that actual guy, his real life makes the movie look tame in comparison. But they took some liberties with it, like him getting back at the guy that buried him, that killed his kid. That never happened in real life. They never met up. It just didn't happen. But if you ever get a chance, go in research into The Reverend and then versus the guy's real life, and you're going to be like, holy shit. They tame stuff down and they cut things out that actually happened to him in his life.
Well, it's like a lot of those guys that actually did all that stuff back then when they were they were fur trappers and
Mhm.
stuff, and they tangled with all that shit all the time.
Yeah,
And they lived a rough life.
they did. We talked about the historical figures, like
Yeah.
the trails were named after and stuff, and you find out, yeah, they only lived to be like 34 years old, and you think they look like they're 65 in their pictures, and they're only like 34 years old. They packed a lot of life in very short amount of time, and rough life. People got it made now. They got it made.
Yeah, you just go to the store and you buy your meat.
Yeah, that's where you hunt it. You hunt for the sales, right?
Right.
Hunt for the sales.
That's right.
Nah, I like it. 1880 to 1885. That's where that'd be good. That'd be nice.
After the Civil War.
Yeah, just after the Civil War, things are calmed down. There was still enough wild America that you could get yourself lost in. Yeah. Yep. But go back with some modern stuff. So if I was going to have like a ball and cap revolver, which was period. I mean, they were just coming out with. They got cartridges as well, but take the Ruger Old Army. It's like, oh, it's awesome. It's better than anything they had at the time, but still, black powder. What were you going to say there, Gus?
I was watching. It was a kind of a documentary show on how the Canadian border and the U.S. border got formed, and all the little shit that went along with it, all our different little wars that we had, and then the I can't remember the two names of the biggest fur companies that were up in Canada. And
they had one of them was the Hudson Bay Colony was
Bay, yeah,
was I think the biggest, if not. I think it was the Hudson Bay was the biggest. I mean, they were like a whole government over here. They were so powerful.
Right. They used to wage war on the other ones that would try to get into their area, and then they couldn't get. They went as far as I think it was Winnipeg, where it eventually turned into Winnipeg, but they had never been any further than that before because of the Canadian shelf, because it was such a rough territory and nobody could cross it. So that took almost to the 1900s before anybody actually colonized and did anything to like where Vancouver and Saskatchewan and those, because they couldn't figure out a way to get through there and live, so to speak.
Yep.
So it was kind of weird how I didn't realize it took that long.
Oh yeah.
For the Canadian government to actually form, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at our history with Alaska. Very similar situation.
Yeah.
Oh, now my flag's waving again. Okay.
But yeah, I didn't really realize a lot of the stuff until I started watching that, and I was like, wow, this is pretty interesting.
Yep.
All the different fascist guys that tried to form governments up there, and they would just plain dictators. So
take what happened like with the range barons and the railroad barons and stuff like that here, and amplify it. Is what you had in the Northeast with the Canadian territories. So,
yeah, it was pretty friggin' wild country up that way.
Yeah, it was so wild that governments, for a lot of the areas, governments would not even get involved in it.
No, nope.
So
Nope.
yeah.
Gee, if they only do that today.
Yeah.
What the hell we
Not
got?
in. But I didn't realize also that 60% of the population of Canada, almost 70%, still only lives in places like Winnipeg, Montreal, Quebec,
Yeah.
and that's where the majority of the
Yep.
population people are. And I was like, wow.
Yeah. Lot of empty land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And a lot of those backwoods towns. I mean, well, a lot of them are much like what we've got in the Great White North up here in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Really small towns, pretty destitute, not a lot going on there.
Nope.
But take them and put them in even remote locations, and that's what a lot of Canada. That's what it is. But it makes good. It makes good ATVing and snowmobiling. They got some awesome snowmobile trails. So
well, I will tell you that growing up as a kid, I mean, I snowmobiled from
I would
Twin
hope that
Mountain-
you grew up as a kid.
Yeah. from Twin Mountain all the way to Pittsburgh, you know.
Uh-huh.
We snowmobiled, I hunted, I did everything. And we've driven through, you know, we drive through or I should say Carroll, the town of Carroll, not Twin Mountain.
Right.
But that back in the late 60s and 70s was an extremely booming town. If you go up there now and all you see is closed businesses,
Yeah,
and
that's all you see.
abandoned buildings and things like that. I can remember going up there and everything up there was full.
Yeah.
And there was so much tourism, you know, up that way, and even up into Lancaster and all the way up into Colebrook. There was still a lot more open land, but the stuff on the sides of the roads, everything was packed.
Yeah.
And now it's all like dying.
Yeah,
you know,
we see that in several places around the state.
Yeah.
And it's you go through communities and you could tell, because when you're going down the road and you see like 5, 6, 7 old motels, and you can tell at one time they had to have been just a bustling community.
Yep. Well, I don't know if you've ever taken a ride and you go out route, you know, on 90 out through New York and stuff like that. And even driving out there, and you go along and you see these humongous farms, you know, with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of acres, and it's abandoned.
Yep.
And I mean, these farms are huge. There's barns that are huge, and they're all falling in.
Yep.
You know, it's unbelievable.
Well, you know, the cycles work, because we talked about you go around New England and you see, you go out in the woods and you see all these stone walls. It's like that used to be fields, that used to be people's homes. So, yeah, same idea.
90% of New Hampshire back in the 1700s and 1800s was fields.
Yeah,
it was wide open.
Yep, they cut the trees down.
There was no trees.
Yep.
No, they hadn't really grown yet. It was all farmed land, and then all of a sudden, when they stopped because they made it so fertile, that's when the trees and everything started really growing. You know, every now and then you run across, you know, you'll be out in the middle of nowhere and you'll see where the stone walls are, and you know the trees there may be 100, 150 years old. And all of a sudden you come along and you'll find this, you know, 2 or 3 trees that you know that are like 400 years old. You know, they're huge.
Yeah, they were planted when you were a kid, right?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Yeah, when you grew up as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, everything runs in cycles, and
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we drive around in our, as you know, we drive around. We see, you see those farms here too. You just go, oh man, you know that this, or you go by an old house and it's just all falling apart, and it's like you knew that it was absolutely beautiful, and you stop and think about the lives that were there, you know, and the families, and now it's just falling apart by the side of the road. And I don't know.
Well, that's like, I think we've talked about it before, but over in Webster, they used on, I can't remember the name of the road off the top of my head because that's just the way I am. But there's a road over there that it used to be kind of a main road, and there was a huge farm that was there, and it was all owned by the Rockefellers.
Hmm.
And it was
Harris Road?
no, I don't remember. I can't remember what it is. It's right there by
Bethel?
right there by the big rock.
Is it Bethel?
No. But, that was something that was done, built back, beginning of the century or even before, like the late 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a beautiful, huge house with fields and, now, they sold it, and I have no idea who owns it, but
Judy
it's
says
kinda fun.
Judy says they showed New Hampshire on the news, and it was freaking beautiful. It is. New Hampshire is beautiful. Yeah. It is.
But it's like Donna was talking about the moose being, like they're not so much in swamps, but they're in wet areas, and
Yeah, they're in wetlands. There you go, wetlands.
Yeah.
Wetlands.
And they eat, they'll eat acorns, and they'll eat, spruce boughs, and they just kind of eat everything that's nice and sweet. And
Yep, and they got the long enough legs to keep them out of the water.
yeah,
Like
so
bogs, the edge of the bogs. We had a lot of bogs in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
A lot of wetlands and bogs.
Well, it's like, if you go through the Notch up there, and then from that stretch from the Notch, and then you pass through Bethlehem and then get into Carroll. I mean, that's all that is nothing but spruce and hemlock, and it's so thick, and it's all wet, and I know, like that's all national forest. So, but there's one thing that you don't really know because you can't really see it, but you go off the road, and this has been happening probably the last 5 years, maybe even a little bit longer, but you go off the road, I don't know, 1,000 feet, even that, even less than that, and they've clear cut it all.
Did they?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All the national forest up there, they went in and they
Why?
clear cut it, all growing back.
But why?
Because it's management. It's
yeah, but they've done. They're supposed to be done away with clear cutting. That they're supposed to all do selective cutting. It's better for the environment. And it's not as easy, but
no. But you got to understand, even sometimes when you clear cut, like if you clear cut like a square mile, and then you don't touch anything else around it, and then you might move, a mile away, and you do another one, that's all a square mile of new growth that, everything loves to go in and eat and be, and it's a process, and it works. Selective cutting isn't always the best thing to do.
Yeah, well, it just depends upon what your goal is. A lot of factors involved. I didn't know they were doing any clear cutting anymore.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. You should go to Maine. All the logging companies up there that own the thousands and thousands of acres, they go in, every year, and they'll clear cut, 5 miles, and then they move on to the next one, and they replant, and it just, they'll, in 50 years, they'll, have cleaned it out, and they got all this nice new growth growing back up and everything else. It looks pretty, it's well managed. That's all I can say.
Judy wants to know: is their meat sweet or more like deer?
It's
Talking
sweet.
about moose.
It's more sweet than deer. It's not as gamey.
Deer sucks. I know some people like venison. I know people like venison. I said, okay, you can have it. I'm not a venison
It's
guy.
different. Like we had mostly whitetail in our area, and it's not as bad. I don't care for mule deer.
Never had one.
Yeah, we get whitetail up here.
Yeah, mule deer, they live more on
Grass.
sagey,
Yeah.
and bark and stuff like that. And to me, that's really wild tasting.
Right, like I said, if you got a bad year, even up here, you get a bad year, and all they're eating is twigs and pine cones and stuff, you'll get real gamey.
And it's not really gamey. I call it tinty.
It's gamey. It's gross. It's gamey. You can have it. You can call it what you want. It's gross.
I guess we didn't have that much of a problem because there was so much corn and sunflowers, that was that was farmed up there, that you just didn't come across real game.
Yeah, and if you keep the deer populations in check, that helps out as well.
Oh God, yeah.
Because then they're not going through their food source.
Yeah.
That's what these anti-gunners or anti-hunters is like. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Stop it.
They
We are the apex predator if we don't keep the natural population of these prey animals in check. They starve. They get diseases. It's horrible.
Yeah, we had an island over close to where we were, and the deer, I don't think they ever got more than any bigger than a German Shepherd, because of the inbreeding, and then they would get disease.
Inbreeding. You got those Kentucky deer down there?
Kentucky deer.
Yeah, you're talking about inbreeding.
Well, I'm sure glad you didn't say Arkansas.
No, I left that one away because you were in Arkansas. So like, okay, got to go with Kentucky.
That's funny.
But you go to places like Pennsylvania. I mean, the deer you get your occasional big deer, but their average is 40 to 60 pounds.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
Really,
And
that's small.
But see, if anybody's ever driven the Pennsylvania Turnpike, you literally can see 60 dead deer within 20 miles. Splattered on the side of the road.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've driven down through Pennsylvania. So.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how that is down there. But that's not the only state that they have that issue. But yeah, that's overpopulation. I mean, I think in Pennsylvania, I think they're allowed to take 7 deer.
Yeah, we would have special hunts, like on the airport property. They owned a lot of the airport, or a lot of land around the airport, and they'd have special hunts to cull the deer.
Yep.
Just to keep them healthy.
Well, John, I don't know if he has ever really heard much about it, but there's an island. It's Long Island on Winnipesaukee.
Are you talking about Deer Island?
Huh?
You're talking about Deer Island?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Deer Island. We talked about Deer Island on the show.
Yeah, Long Island is what it is, and people were complaining because they couldn't grow anything because there was so many deer on there. They were eating everything that was 6 feet and below.
Yeah.
And they used to actually go in and they would allow disabled people to hunt there, but they would actually hire marksmen to go in and actually shoot, 30 to 50 deer a year because they needed to cut the population down.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, up there they did that too in areas that were not supposed to be trespassed on. You know, you'd have these big swaths of land where, so they'd have like special hunts,
Yep.
but they were just open to whoever put in for them, you know.
Well, that's like we can here in New Hampshire. You're able to apply for a second doe permit, so to speak.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
hunt,
yeah,
and then so you can get, if you get it, you can get 2 deer, and then if you hunt with a bow and arrow, you can get another one. So
Right. I was about to ask that whether you could extend it by type of, because some seasons are overlapped, but a lot of times there's a distinction between them. So you got like black powder and you got bow
yeah,
and you got
right.
yeah,
standard. Whether you could get a permit for each.
Because, yeah, we'd get 4 or 5 a year because there was black powder and there was
Yeah. I'm not a hunter,
archery
so I don't.
season. You know, there's bow season and then there's the regular gun season. So,
but see
yeah,
here what the way it works is you have your archery season starts first in September, and then
right,
they open up what they call black powder or
right,
muzzle loading season,
Yep.
and
right,
that's usually a week before the regular season opens. But
right.
if you get one with a muzzle loader, you're done.
Oh, really?
You you cannot get one with a regular, gun after.
Rifle.
Mm.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Well, I
They're
guess it would depend on, like, they keep control of the
right.
population. So it would,
Yeah.
yeah, it would depend year to year or whatever.
It's also like there's sections. The New Hampshire is sectioned off, and I can't remember how many. It's like 14 or 18 sections,
Right,
and certain sections you're only allowed to hunt bucks, and then there's other sections where you're allowed to hunt both, and then there's other sections where you're only allowed to hunt does,
Hmm.
and you need to know the laws and you need to know
yeah.
where you're hunting.
Yeah.
And every state is different.
That's correct.
And because I always put in for a doe tag every year, and you could get button bucks,
Yeah,
you know, and they qualified as doe. Anything under,
really.
I think, an inch was
Wow.
considered a doe. So, yeah, and they are the best eating,
Yeah.
those
Well, I
young.
know, like here in Vermont, also Vermont, you have to for a buck they have to be 3 inches
Yeah, 3 inch
or
tines.
more,
Yeah,
and then they're considered a buck. But
right.
if they're under 3 inches, you can't shoot them.
Yeah, yeah. It just depends state to state, you know.
Mm. Every state manages their own, you know, wildlife individually. They don't do it the same.
Oh, no, no.
You can't.
Populations are different, you know.
Yeah.
Well, sure. That even down to the caliber that you're allowed to shoot is different from state to state.
Well, that's like here in New Hampshire, like go into Concord or Pembroke or parts of Bow, and you can only hunt with a shotgun. You can't hunt with a rifle.
Hmm.
Yeah, we've got areas down here like that.
Yeah.
But they're so heavily wooded down here in some areas that it's just almost impossible to rifle hunt. I mean,
Well, that's not the reason. The reason is because a rifle will go, a mile and a half, whereas a shotgun might only go, a quarter of a mile because
right.
it's so
But
that's it. It's within this what they call city limits. So
right, right. But like
it's
up there, there's a lot of open land. We
right.
had so much open land that, like, I think I got my antelope at like about 300 yards.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is kind of unheard of here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they don't have the wooded areas.
Yeah, what about 50 to 100 yards is probably, if I was to wager, 50 to 100 yards is about as long as you're going to
Yeah.
realistically.
Yeah, there's a lot of places like that here.
I mean, you can find some places. We got big fields and stuff like, but realistically, I'd wager 50 to 100 yards.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about like here.
Yeah, it's not like out west.
No.
Where you want to reach out and you got way too much foliage here, way too much too many hills.
Yeah,
Well,
that's another thing too, is the population. There's, it was real rural, up there. Whereas down here you
rural.
got
Say rural again.
rural.
Rural is rural.
It's like Paxica.
Rural.
Roof.
Rufus.
Rural.
Rural.
Roof.
Roof. Are you barking, Gus?
Yep. Roof.
You're missing the trash bag.
No, I think Don is tired tonight.
I am tired.
I know you are. I'm tired too, but you're saying like a lot. It's like, oh, I'm not the only tired person here. I need to get the toothpicks to get my eyes open. So it's like, good. I'm so glad. Judy says that's why I don't call in. Hey, come on. Hey, it's open season for everyone.
Yeah, Judy.
It's open season for everyone.
Call in.
No, Judy, you've been on the show Voice before, haven't you?
I think once.
Yeah, I could have sworn she called in once. She was either on no, had to have been on the phone. Couldn't have been on Zoom. I don't think she zoomed in.
Yeah, she had quite the sharp accent, if I remember correctly.
Judy says no. No.
She says she hadn't called in.
Her.
Okay.
Wasn't her. Okay, well, somebody calls in. I knew we had some people. We had somebody down in Massachusetts, a gal there. Her and her husband do colonial reenactment.
Yeah.
Her name begins with a C too, but I can't remember what her name is. Judy says someone tried to play you. But that was they tried to get into the Zoom room and it wasn't you. And then we've had there's a young gal from Montana, I believe. She just shows up on chat, on text. I keep forgetting her name. She pops up on my page more frequent. Blah 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 blah. quite more frequently. More.
Well, what about the kid that he rode his skateboard or something?
Oh yeah, he had that. He had the longboard. Where the hell was he from?
Texas, I thought.
Was he from Arizona?
Arizona,
but he wasn't from Arizona.
No.
He was living in Arizona. Wasn't he from Utah or something like that? And he was living in Arizona.
Yeah.
And then
he's talking away to us, and he's riding down the road on his longboard.
and he disappeared.
Yeah.
We had Mr. Militia dude from California.
Oh yeah.
What was his name? Doug? Daniel? Dan? Daniel. He was around for a few shows. And then, no, he wasn't. Not by his choice, though.
Yeah.
Woody hasn't been on the show for a while.
No, ever since I think Facebook kind of fucked up a lot of people.
Well, but see, I see him on Facebook, and I talk to him on Facebook, and I interact with him on Instagram as well. So he's around, but he just never migrated to. And again, I have no idea why. There's no logical reason why, if folks couldn't make the Facebook show, that they couldn't make the YouTube show. It's the same show, takes the same. You don't do anything special.
No. And like you said, like you were saying earlier tonight, everybody has YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't care. You do a Google search, and it will pop you up on YouTube.
Right. So, okay, let me be. Everybody uses YouTube. Not everybody would have a YouTube account, but it's easy to make a YouTube account.
Yeah.
And it's better to, because then it keeps track of the things that you watch.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
most
I've got
people
things I follow.
Yeah.
On
And
YouTube.
and by, even if there's things I don't follow, but they're the same type of content that I partake of on YouTube, and it comes up in my feed. It comes up in my home page, my home feed page. Like that is home on YouTube, right? Call it home.
Yeah.
It's not my channel page. My channel page is different. That's just mine.
Yeah.
But your home pages would be just your general feed. So yeah.
Because that's where like I explained before. I mean, I do a lot on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
anytime
people
I
can
wanna
complain about the
fix something.
censorship, and I do as well, but it's where everybody is.
Well,
Right.
anytime I want to fix something, I go to YouTube.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, Donna, yes. It's like, you just go to YouTube and you need to fix your dryer. Okay.
Yep.
This is the model. Something's wrong. Somebody's done a video on the damn thing.
Yep.
Oh.
Judy
Speaking
says
of
I
video-
subscribed to YouTube and I'm always on it. Yeah. I use YouTube more than I use the TV.
Yes. Yeah.
So I even take my tablet to bed. I haven't been watching the TV. I just take my tablet and I do my YouTube videos. And it's
Speaking of videos, we took the Explorer, our brand new car that we bought, 5 months ago.
Yep.
In because it was last month was our birthday month, so here in New Hampshire, you have to do a state inspection once a year on your birthday.
Yep, and registration.
And registration. So we couldn't get in until today.
Mm-hmm.
So we got in today and we went in, and next thing you know, I get a text, and it's the technician from the place where we bought it, which is Pony Ford,
Mm-hmm.
and he sent us a video of him walking around the car doing everything that he did. It was probably maybe a 15-minute video or whatever of everything that he found wrong, or he didn't find anything wrong, but everything that he looks at and shows,
Mm-hmm.
and and I was like, wow. So I guess a lot of the dealerships now, that's what they're doing, is they're actually filming it so that they can show the customer what's being done and what they find on your vehicle and everything else, because I know I've talked to a couple of other people that have done that, and they've done the same thing, from different other ones. So that's kind of different.
Mine doesn't. I mean, I think it's a good idea, but finding a good mechanic, that's even good mechanic, good lawyer, good doctor. Those are things that you find them and you keep them until you can't have them anymore, and then trying to find a new one to replace it can be a pain in the ass. But
yeah, but this is a dealer, so this isn't like a regular. Because I have a different mechanic that I take my truck to, because I don't take it back to the dealer. Why?
Right.
I don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's 21 years old. I'm not going to take it back to the dealer because they'd find everything wrong with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and charge you more than it probably should. I tried to avoid mechanics at dealerships if you can. Now, if your vehicle's under warranty and stuff, hey, that's fine. But after that, no.
I mean, we got a 5-year, warranty on it, so we're going to be going back there, and all of our.
That's okay. 6 years from now, I'll be calling you about your extended warranty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But our state inspections are free every year as long as we take them. So.
Yep.
And I knew that they weren't going to find anything wrong with a 5-month-old car. If they did,
Right.
I'd say, well, that's up to you. You need to fix it.
And that would definitely, if it's something that's wrong, it's a warranty issue. Yeah. And chances are it might have even been a recall issue if it's going that soon. So yeah. So how you liking it? Still liking it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We love it. Yeah. It's comfortable to drive, comfortable to ride in, and gets 25 miles to the gallon.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't mind
good.
it.
I just need more leg room. Yeah. I love Zippy. Zippy's great, but I've come to the conclusion, and the missus said that again too. She says, "Yeah, our next vehicle, we're not going to go this small. I'm just too tall."
Well,
I mean, it works.
You're in a position, you've been that way your whole life.
Yeah.
So you either have to make do and suffer, or you have to
go big
and pay the extra money.
Yeah, all of our vehicles up to this point were true mid-size, and most of them full-size SUVs and stuff.
Right.
It's like sitting in your chair at home. You sitting up, and I got plenty of leg room and stuff like that. But these smaller vehicles are just wow. Even the Mustang I had to the seat was all the way back as far as it could go, and then it was reclined backwards, so there was no way anybody was going to sit in the back seat behind me. And then my feet had enough room, and then I'm reaching out for the steering wheel. But yeah, I'm not built for a small car.
Did I wake you up?
No.
Size matters. Yeah, it does sometimes. It does sometimes. Yeah.
No, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why people complain. It's like I like you said, I've been this way my whole life, so I take everything in stride. I understand the thing. Counters are going to be too low. Cars, unless it's like a full size, a regular sedan or something like that, I'm not going to have any leg room. It's just, I'll fit in it. It's fine, but my legs aren't. They're bent. They're not as comfortable as they should be. But yeah, full size SUV, full size pickup truck tends to be the way. Now they have small and mid-size pickup trucks out there that I think will be okay because their ergonomics are different.
Yeah.
But I'd like to give it a try.
With that being said, I have my one son who's over 7 feet tall.
Yep.
And he automatically ducks in every doorway. Every doorway, yeah, whether he needs to or not. It's because he's used to doing that. I damn near do that. Now sometimes I'll stop in a doorway and look up, and it's like you've only got like this much before you're hitting the door, and I don't notice it. But yeah, him being good bit taller than I am. Yeah, he's just instinctively he'll just do it. Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't even think anymore. It's a reflex. It's muscle memory. Right. And it's kind of funny with him being, disabled, like that. That's one thing that he learned a long time ago. And it's stuck with him. So well, it'd be an important thing to learn. Either that or he's going to need to wear a freaking helmet. Yeah. Yeah. Why is he wearing a helmet? He hasn't figured out the ducking yet. Yeah. So yeah, he's figured out the ducking, and no helmet needed. No. Or get him one of those. Was it Grace Kelly in the Conan movie? She had that metal plate on her forehead. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No. Oh, thank you.
I think we lost Donna.
Yeah, Donna had a call in. Somebody called her.
Oh,
See, I could hear that.
yeah. I heard her.
She's like, "No,
say
you
something.
didn't. No, you didn't wake me up." And it's like, okay, she got a phone call in, and then poop,
Yeah.
there she goes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But
Yep.
oh well.
That's fine. Hey, 2 hours.
Yeah.
She made it damn near to the end of the show.
Yeah, she did.
But yeah. Yeah, so did you hear about were you on the show when I was talking about the potential new studio again?
I was, yes.
Okay.
And you were talking about how you were going to do that little other radio bit too. So.
Oh yeah, I got the we're recording it tomorrow afternoon. 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
3 o'clock my time.
Yeah.
So we'll go, 45 minutes to an hour or so. Then it'll cut back down, edit it to fit a 20 to 30 minute spot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
how
he
it goes.
does that.
Yeah, he does that. Yeah, I'm just talking.
Yeah.
So I know the general directions. I'm like, hey, let me know so that you're not throwing me a question that I'm not prepared for, because it just makes we could stop and I could come up with what I wanted to say and do it, and then he edits it out. But that's why bother? It's like, yeah, let him know ahead of time.
Yeah.
I did the same thing as when he was on my show. Because Dr. Tom from Wyoming. Tom, that was his name. I forgot his last name. Tom. Dr. Tom.
Yeah. Well, that's all I remember him by, is Dr. Tom.
Yeah. And so, yeah, and I let him, holy crap, what's it say? It said that that my streaming had disconnected.
Uh-oh. I'm only on Zoom, so
Yeah, we're fine there, and it just it said that it disconnected, and then it was going to start back up, and then I'm looking on YouTube, and it says excellent condition.
Huh.
Hey Judy, did I freeze up? Because she's still, I don't know if Laurel's still there. Judy was there. It's just size matters.
Well, what's kind of funny, and I think I told you this the other day, I cannot run Zoom and YouTube at the same time. Zoom overtakes YouTube and it freezes it right up.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, that's why I can't. I if you ever ask me to look on something or whatever, I won't be able to do it now.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Because you were running them on the same device before, right?
When we were on Facebook.
Right.
But on YouTube, I wasn't able to. I used my tablet on YouTube and my phone was on Zoom.
Right. Yeah, I thought that's what you were still doing.
No, I don't have the tablet out right now. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Judy said that I did freeze up for a second. Okay. Well, at least it's back on. At least it's back on, and it was after the 2 hour mark anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Laurel says you're fine. But okay. Good show, folks. Next show Thursday. I should be able to put out more content. I still have to do the second drive. That's from Lincoln north on 3 to Bethlehem, and then from Bethlehem, what is it, 302? Is it 302?
Yeah.
302 east, down through the range, so you go past the Mount Washington, Twin Mountains, Bear Mountain, they're all down there, Attitash ski area and the whole nine. So go down there all the way back down to Conway again. I still have that one to produce. But the big one that people wanted was the Kankamungus. Kankamungus. I always pronounce it wrong, the Kank.
Kank.
I add a letter in there. I don't know what it is, but it's
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that. I'm glad that everybody likes the videos that they're up, and they take a lot of time. And like I said, I'm mulling over the studio thing. So go ahead.
So the other question, I guess, is have they stopped, lack of better terms, fucking you, or are they still...
No, their fuckery is still going on.
Oh, good.
Supposedly they've. I can do everything, so I can do calls now, which I never did anyways. But I can do calls now. I can do live streaming now. I can still post. I could always post, but I'm not getting the reach. I thought they started. Some of the people that follow my content were starting to get more of my content, but that's dropped back off again. You probably noticed it.
I still get it. Not as much as what I did right after you know, as soon as your time ended, that's when I sent you, and I said,
right.
Holy crap.
Yeah. That was, and then within a day or so, it went back to Shitsville again.
Sporadic.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm still getting screwed over.
And like, I'll get some of your stuff like a day or two later.
Yeah.
I won't get the same day you put it, you know.
And that's terrible.
I did get like your video of your, you know, you did of the chickens, you know, the girls.
Yeah.
I got that kind of almost.
Yeah, weird, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's certain. It's almost like it's certain content. They allow it to go out, and then other stuff they don't.
Right. Strange.
Yeah.
Judy says, good night, y'all. Hope you have a great evening. Look forward to seeing more content. Yeah, sorry about that, Judy. Like I said, it takes me, when I do my videos, I'm down. It's 6 hours or more. And it's not difficult. It's just, and I thought that I was going to run like Pandora so I could listen to music while I'm doing it. It's like, well, no, I can't, because I've got to listen to the video that I'm editing.
Right.
So it's like, it's 6 hours of it's very tedious and monotonous. Just takes up a lot of time.
Yeah.
So, but I'll get more content out. Okay, I'm going to shut down. Laurel says, I still have to go to your page to get everything you post. Yeah, I don't, it's, the missus has never gotten a notification of my stuff in her feed. She always has to go to my page. It's crazy. But,
that's too bad.
Okay. Well, I'm shutting down again. Thank you all for showing, for joining the show tonight. It was a long one. I'm about wiped out. Thursday's the next show. I'll try to get I will get where folks can listen to the radio interview. It should be on Saturday. And yeah. Folks who would like to help donate to the show and all content, there's links in the description. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, do what you can do. See you around. Okay. God bless. Take care.
Good night.